Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. Hey, today is all about no griddle needed. What happens when you have that leftover turkey? Of course, you make smoked turkey and dumplings. If you guys want to see this, here we go. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of No Griddle Needed. This is what it's all about. So, I am not typically a huge fan of just building a sandwich after Thanksgiving. I don't think I should put mashed potato stuffing, cranberry sauce on a grilled bread with turkey and call it a sandwich. I'd much rather make something else out of the leftovers, and that's what we're doing today. Smoked turkey dumplings. I think it sounds fantastic. All right, this is the idea. Chicken and dumplings, but what about all the turkey left over? We have been making a ton of turkeys on our other channel, Pellets and Pits. To your guys' surprise, we get asked all the time, when will the microwave queen make her debut again on the Flat Top King? Well, lo and behold, she made her debut on Pellets and Pits, and she cooked her first turkey. To be honest with you, you guys can check that video. We'll have the link listed below so you guys can check it out. Bumps in the road, but overall, when it actually came out, that's what a beginner goes through, and it was absolutely fantastic. It truly was a good turkey. I think she did a fantastic job. I think it helps beginners learn, hey, if she can do it, you can do it, and that's what cooking's all about. You have anything to say? I know you do.
I'm patting myself on the back. It did turn out great. I spatchcocked it by myself. It was my own recipe idea. Mm-hmm. Like Neil said, I did make a mistake. He helped me through it.
Learning. It's all about learning.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Smoked turkey and dumplings. All right. First things first, let's make that dough. We're going to have to let it sit for a minute while we get the other stuff ready. So, we got some flour here, and of course, this recipe will be on theflattopking.com. Baking powder, definitely pepper in my dumplings. Give that a mix. I'm gonna make a well right here. Buttermilk, and then we have melted butter. Just give this a mix. You don't want to overwork it. And this is the benefit of letting this dough come together while you make your other ingredients. Typically, you'd make this dough and immediately roll it out, but we want this kind of gluten that you build up to relax. Just creates for a fluffier style dumpling. Once it comes together, you definitely don't want to overmix it, just like a regular southern style biscuit. Just get all those little flakes in there. Yeah, just like that. In the bowl it goes, and we're just gonna let it rest while we make our gravy. First things first, we have an onion, a carrot, a stalk of celery, a little bit of herbs, and some garlic. Get that prepped up and ready in the saucepan. To our part, we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter, all those diced onions. Now this is a personal preference. I'm actually gonna let these onions cook for a while. Sweat them down. You don't want a lot of heat. I like the onions to be a part of the gravy, not necessarily like a chunky onion with the celery and carrot. I want the celery and carrot to stand out on its own. So personal preference. You want to add it and then just add all the ingredients. It's up to you. But I just think it emulsifies in the sauce a lot better. Some fresh thyme pulled off the leaves. I'm gonna rough chop that. We're not gonna use all that. Fresh rosemary, same thing. Pull off the leaves from the stems, or fine chop. As you can see, the onions have sweated down nicely, just on a good low heat. Add those vegetables. Go ahead and add that garlic and the seasonings. One thing that's gonna give this dish a great depth of flavor is homemade smoked turkey stock. Okay, I know not everybody has the ability to do it, but this is the idea. Throughout the year, especially like this time in the fall, a lot of people do wings from scratch, like fresh wings. So they'll separate the wings, the wing tips. They're very important because you can save the wing tips, smoke them, and you can throw those in your stock as well. I mentioned earlier that we've been having a ton of turkeys on Pellets and Pits. So we got all those carcasses left over, and what do you do with them? You want to add your black peppercorns, your onion, your carrot, your bay leaf, a little bit of salt. You guys get the idea. It's a homemade stock. I highly recommend it. It's one of those things where you can definitely upgrade any dish by making a homemade stock. One benefit of making your own stock is if you make too much or you're not going to use it that time, you can use these deli containers. Readily available a lot. We can have a link listed below. They come in different sizes, all shapes. We love them because we can store a lot of stuff in there. If you're doing your turkey the day of, you got to remember the giblets, the neck, all that stuff. Go ahead and smoke that, because when you take it out, you can at least add some flavor to your broth, whether it be boxed or not, and it just incorporates a little bit more flavor for the day. So this is homemade turkey stock. And last on the list is that smoked turkey. We specifically made that turkey in the idea that we were going to take a bunch of it and cube it up, shred it up for this recipe. However, if you have leftover turkey and you feel like you don't have enough to go above and beyond for a recipe, whether it be turkey enchiladas, this, you name it, don't be scared to go to the grocery store or even make one yourself for a rotisserie chicken. The breast, the thigh meat, the leg meat, whatever you need to use, great alternative. And if you get that rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, you open that container and it's got all that juice in there, that is flavor. Save it. Put it in here. Put it in your stock. Tons of flavor. Cook this for a few minutes to get that flour taste out of there, kind of like a blonde roux style. Just add that stock in there. Mine's a little frozen. That's how we save it. We're saving it for the big day. Add as much or a little as you want. We overstuffed it. It's supposed to be about 4 cups, but honestly, you can't go wrong with a little extra protein. Add that in there, so while this warms up, it just slowly warms that poultry up so you're not overcooking it that much. It's already been cooked once. Some half and half. For all the haters, my grandmother put it in there. I don't make it the same way she makes it. Completely different, but it's one thing I can't get away from. You guys do you. If you notice, the one thing I've not added to this whole process is salt. You got to be careful with your salt content, especially with canned soups and or your homemade stocks or the stocks you buy at the grocery store. So let's wait till we pepper and salt at the end. Very important. Alrighty, simply enough, our dough has been resting. Just a little bit of flour there, a little bit of flour here. Really no rhyme or wrong reason. You don't have to worry about folding it over, nothing like that. You're just going to shape these in like a rectangle, circle, however you want your dumplings. If you don't feel like making your dumplings from scratch, absolutely use canned biscuits. No shame in that game at all. Whatever floats your boat. All right, this is the kind of consistency we're dealing with. I like my dumplings a little bit on the thinner side. I don't like it too thick, so you need to balance that with your dumplings going in. I don't think I need salt. I'm gonna add a heavy splash of pepper. Big pepper fan. Dumplings are on low. Just lay these in here piece by piece. That all this flour and dough is also gonna be a thickener. So you need to balance that. You can add your cream, you can add water, milk, whatever you got. To give you an idea, that was about half of the dumplings. I stirred those in, and the rest of the half will just kind of rest on top. Have our butter on low, set a lid on it, and let those dumplings steam. Maybe about 15 minutes, be careful, because you don't want your bottom to scorch, so be careful on that temperature. All right, we had it about 20 minutes on low. I just cut the heat off, kept the lid on there. Been stirring it a few times, and you should have something like that. The one good thing about this recipe, I truly believe, like, it's one of those things where you've probably already got the ingredients in your pantry. It should be extremely cost effective. One quick tip, that can of cream of chicken soup, depending on how you make your gravy, you can always substitute like homemade gravy for that. It's going to change your thickening power and all that stuff depending on what it is. But using the things that you've got, that's the good thing about like a leftover Thanksgiving, a leftover turkey, leftover anything, using the things that you got. being a hot sauce fan I am, I'm about to douse this with hot sauce. So, spoiler alert, I've already had about 10 bites off camera while she's taking pictures. It's hard not to. You can actually take the same method, substitute the dumplings. You can add potatoes, you can add more vegetables, definitely beef it up with more protein if you need to. Add a puff pastry, bake it off in the oven, and all of a sudden you got like a simple pot pie. Many different ways to use this. Dumplings is one of my favorite, and that's why we made it.
Let me see, let me have a bite.
I like it because it incorporates the dark and white meat. It's filling, comforting, stretches a long ways. I'm talking about the food, not my belly.
That's,
Dumplings are on point.
that is good. That is super good. This is not even something I usually like, but this is super good.
Yeah.
Let me try just a dumpling.
I'm gonna go hammer down.
Yeah.
Find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. There's a join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Last but not least, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. You messed me up.
I know. I thought we were, you had Pellets and Pits. I thought we were on Pellets and Pits channel.
It's the only one clean.